Parker is scary. Speaking of scary, up next, tag action of the scary kind, with Zeus and the Great Khali facing the Big Red Machine Kane and his brother, the World Heavyweight Champion, The Undertaker.
Now here's a match that should have happened at Halloween Brawl.
The following tag team match is scheduled for one fall with a 20-minute time limit. Approaching the ring along with Eric Bischoff at a combined weight of 635 pounds, the Great Khali, and the human wrecking machine, Zeus.
Mr. Bischoff and his only two clients, Zeus and the Great Khali, making their way down to the ring for this tag team matchup with Kane and the Undertaker. And Myron, you are not kidding, this would have been an ideal matchup for Halloween Brawl. Hey, better late than never. Well, here's hoping these four don't destroy the ring, as happened last week between The Undertaker and Lex Luger. That was crazy, wasn't it? While The Undertaker's presence all by itself is sufficiently ominous, it takes on a double meaning when his brother, the Big Red Machine, joins him in tag team competition.
Their opponents at a combined weight 640 pounds, the team of Kane, and the RWL World Heavyweight Champion, The Undertaker, the Brothers of Destruction.
As the Brothers of Destruction make their way to the ring, it must be noted Zeus and the Great Khali certainly have been in some high-profile matches of late. This one with the Brothers of Destruction and their last for the undisputed World Tag Team Championships against the Originals, which they obviously did not win. You know, some people will say I've been cutting Eric Bischoff some nice breaks lately, and yeah, maybe I have. But those are breaks that Too Short Welfare Popeye will never have.
I'm not mad about it. While Zeus and Khali maybe aren't winning consistently, the opportunities for high-profile matches were definitely earned. Eric Bischoff, say what you want about the man, has stood by his two talents with serious conviction. I don't particularly care for Eric, but I can respect that about him.
You understand. And so we will have the Human Wrecking Machine and the Big Red Machine going at one another first in this tag team matchup as referee Tom Kanamura sounds the bell. And here we go. Zeus with a hard right spins Kane around, goes behind on him, and slams him to the canvas. Kane quickly back up, catches another right from Zeus and into a blatant choke, but Kane backs him off. Zeus counters again with a kick, a right, another kick to the midsection, a left, and he's got Kane by the throat. And pulls off with a hard shot to the midsection and a stomp to the head and turns it over to the Punjabi Nightmare, the Great Khali. Kane currently laid out as the Great Khali drives a knee into the back of his head, turns around, leaves and turns it over to Zeus. The tag team mechanics of Zeus and Khali clearly in evidence here, a significant improvement over their previous outings. Snapped the neck. Tried to snap Kane's neck. That is insane. Zeus whips Kane to the ropes. Misses with the clothesline. Kane tags him with the right, gets him into his team's corner. Zeus counters. The Undertaker tags him with a cheap shot. A knee to the midsection from Zeus as he escorts Kane towards the ropes. The Big Red Machine being choked with the top rope as Eric Bischoff looks on confidently. And so far, Kane has had his difficulties with this team. Head first into the opposing team's turnbuckle as the Great Khali is tagged in. Here comes a double team from Zeus and Khali. Kane draped over the top rope. Khali with a double axe handle across the back of the Big Red Machine. And a claw slam. Here's a cover, one, but no, the Undertaker right there to break up the thing. Zeus whips him to the outside. The Great Khali, meantime, with Kane up against the ropes again. Kane whipped to the ropes. The Great Khali with a spine buster as Zeus and the Undertaker battle on the outside of the ring, outside of camera range. Khali tries for a bear hug. Kane counters. Khali shoves him away. A shoulder tackle that doesn't take him down. There's a knee to the midsection from Kane. Khali shoves him away again. Another shoulder tackle that fails to take Kane down. Kane again whipped to the ropes by the Great Khali. A collision center ring as the Undertaker is rolled back inside the ring by Zeus. Kane, shifting his weight, takes down the Great Khali, rolls to the outside with him. And he is on the wrong side of town. There's a stomp right to the chest of the great Khali. Kane delivering stomps with the boots across the face of the great Khali. A kick to the midsection and a DDT on the floor. The referee already counting. Kane rounds him up. There's a kick to the leg. The Big Red Machine flips the great Khali over, drops an elbow on the knee of the Punjabi Nightmare. Kane gathered up again. Whoa! A knee right to the head of the great Khali. Khali gathered up again by Kane. Tries to get him back in the ring the first time. Succeeds on the second. The great Khali writhing in pain. Back inside the ring. Kane making his way inside. Nope. Takes himself to the top turnbuckle and delivers an elbow to the chest of the great Khali. And here's a pin. 1, 2. Khali powering out. Zeus came to the rescue. Zeus being shown the door here. Dragon screw on Kane by the great Khali, who takes a brief walk across the midsection of the Big Red Machine. Kane puts on the brakes. A dragon screw from the Big Red Machine. Meanwhile, the Undertaker working on Zeus on the outside. The Undertaker making his way back to his tag corner as Kane slips back inside the ring. The great Khali makes his way in over the top rope. Kane right there waiting for him. Escorts him to his team's corner. Head first into the turnbuckle goes Khali. Here comes the Undertaker for the first time, the legal man in the match, as he takes himself to the middle rope and double axe handle across the arm of the great Khali. Khali whipped to the ropes by the dead man and a hip toss from the Undertaker as he beats it out of town and turns it back over to the Big Red Machine. The great Khali laid out center ring. Kane delivers a stomp to the arm. What a team. The Brothers of Destruction. Kane rounds up the great Khali into a sidewalk slam, and he goes for the pin. 1, 2. Zeus breaking up the pin, saving the match for his team. The great Khali slow to get back to his feet. Kane right there waiting for him, winds up the arm, top wrist lock. Khali counters with hard rights to the midsection of the Big Red Machine. Khali rounds him up, look at this, all the way up and all the way back down. Military press drop from the great Khali, who turns it back over to the human wrecking machine Zeus as Kane gets back to a standing position and whoa! Did you see him fly? Whoa, what? That took significant power from Zeus. Zeus dodges the clothesline, catches an elbow from Kane instead. The chop block doesn't find the mark. Whoa, what a spine buster from the human wrecking machine. Zeus tagging in the great Khali again. The team working very efficiently. Whoa, misses with the kick. Kane rebounds off the rope and what a kick right to the face of the great Khali. Khali counters with a shot to the midsection of Kane. The Big Red Machine whipped to the ropes by Khali. A kick right to the head of Kane. The great Khali going to work on the Big Red Machine. Grapples him, escorts him to his team's corner. Head first into the turnbuckle goes the Big Red Machine as the human wrecking machine Zeus is brought in. Double team incoming for Kane. Whipped up the ropes and a double back body drop as Zeus takes over for his team. A couple of stomps to the chest of Kane. Grinding the face of Kane into the canvas. Follows that up with an elbow across the back. Kane trying to make it to his corner, but no dice. Zeus right there to spoil it. Trading shots back and forth here. A headbutt takes Kane down again. And once more, the great Khali brought in on the tag. Kane laid out near center. There's a kick to the leg from the great Khali. Kane on the outside apron, using the ropes to get himself stood up again. The great Khali tags him to the right and out to the floor he goes. Eric Bischoff becoming directly involved here. Tries to get Kane back into the ring, but no dice. Oh! Driven straight into the ring steps by Kane. The great Khali catches a kick and a DDT outside on the floor. Kane slowly making his way back inside the ring. Referee Tom Kanamura continuing to count the Great Khali, who is slowly beginning to stir. Zeus with a cheap shot to Kane. And the Great Khali back up, and he looks pretty angry. Kane seems absolutely unbothered as the tide begins to turn in this matchup towards the Brothers of Destruction. The Khali with a knee to the midsection. Kane counters with a knee. Gets a hold of the Great Khali by the scruff of the neck. Head first into the turnbuckle he goes. He counters, catches a shot from the Undertaker. Kane goes behind on him. Headbutt to the back of the head of the Great Khali, and down he goes. Kane with a stomp to the lower abdomen of the Great Khali. Khali rolls out to the floor. Kane takes himself to the top turnbuckle. Oh, watch out now. Changes his mind on the high-risk maneuver. Instead turns it over to the Undertaker. The legendary Deadman goes after Zeus. A shoulder tackle takes him out to the floor as Kane continues to work on the Great Khali. An overhand shot from Kane. The Undertaker waiting for Khali to return. And there he is as the legendary Deadman makes his way to the top far right turnbuckle. Khali slowly standing. And here it is, the double axe handle right across the head of the Punjabi Nightmare. The Undertaker with a rolling elbow across the midsection of the Great Khali. And now the Undertaker starts to really open up here as the Brothers of Destruction begin to assert themselves in this matchup as we approach the halfway mark in the 20-minute time limit. Head first into the mat goes the Great Khali as Kane is brought in on the tag. The Big Red Machine decides to take himself to the top turnbuckle here. The Great Khali catches a big-time crossbody, and here's a pin. 1, 2. But no, Zeus breaking up the pin. A stomp to the midsection of the Great Khali by Kane. The Great Khali counter slams Kane face first into the canvas. Here comes the Human Wrecking Machine again. Kane standing center ring waiting for him. Tries for the bear hug, but Kane counters with a headbutt, goes behind on Zeus, and into a Russian leg sweep on the Human Wrecking Machine. Kane tags in the Undertaker as Zeus makes his way to a standing position. The Undertaker charges, misses with the clothesline, gets caught from behind by Zeus. A headbutt to the back of the Undertaker's head. Zeus drives the knee of the Deadman into the canvas, follows that up with a stomp to the midsection. Undertaker counters with an elbow, quickly back up on his feet, a jab, a second. Gets a hold of, whoa, Undertaker goes over the rope and out onto the floor and on the wrong side of town as Zeus brings in Kane on the hard way. Undertaker rolled back inside the ring, and again, Zeus trying to snap the neck, and a running kick takes down the Undertaker as once again Zeus and the Great Khali begin to try and turn the tide of this matchup towards their side. A stomp to the back of the Deadman. The Human Wrecking Machine rounds up the Undertaker, gets a hold of him, escorts him to his team's corner, head first into the turnbuckle. As Zeus is brought in on the tag, here comes another double team to the Undertaker as they both slam the Undertaker hard into the corner. The Punjabi Nightmare with a double axe handle across the back of the Deadman. Pulls him over and goes for the pin. 1, not even a 1. The Great Khali quickly on the Undertaker, gets a hold of him, double choke lift, and slam to the canvas. Once more, Khali going for another pin. 1. But Kane right there to break it up. The Great Khali turning his attention back to the Undertaker. A claw slam from the Punjabi Nightmare as he tags in the Human Wrecking Machine Zeus. Undertaker back up on his feet. Kick to the midsection of Zeus. A clubbing overhand right takes him down to the mat as the Undertaker turns it over to Kane again. Zeus and Kane, they have been at it. What a clothesline from the Human Wrecking Machine. Kane tries for the chokeslam, doesn't get it, winds up over the shoulders of Zeus. But Kane countering with elbows, disengaging him from the Human Wrecking Machine. A knee to the midsection from Zeus. Elbows to the midsection of Zeus from Kane. And Kane misses with the grapple, tries it again. Winds up in a front cradle on Zeus, slams him into the turnbuckle, pitches him out towards center ring. Kane going for the pin. 1, 2. But to no avail. Zeus kicking out of the pin. Kane rounds him up for a sidewalk slam just about center ring. The Big Red Machine, perhaps debating his next move, decides to round up Zeus. Grapples him, escorts him to his team's corner, head first into the turnbuckle goes Zeus. Zeus counters, catches a shot from The Undertaker. Kane rounds him up quickly, insists on Zeus staying on their side of the ring. Here comes The Undertaker, and here comes a double team to Zeus. Zeus whipped to the ropes. Whoa, double elbows to the chest of the Human Wrecking Machine, who rolls to the outside. The Undertaker charges. Oh, wow, over the top rope. Wow, unbelievable. The Undertaker taking down the Human Wrecking Machine as referee Tom Kanamura continues the count. The Undertaker countered by the great Khali. Zeus makes his way back inside the ring. The Undertaker with a running DDT right on the top of the dome as The Undertaker covers. 1, 2, 3, and this one is finally all over. The Brothers of Destruction picking up the win over Zeus and the great Khali. Let's get the official time.
Here's the time, 13 minutes and 31 seconds. Your winners, Kane and The Undertaker.
Admittedly, Zeus and the great Khali certainly not making it easy for the Brothers of Destruction, but at the end of the game, after the final bell, it's Kane and Undertaker with the win, and fire, as Hangman 6 once might say. What an impressive win for Kane and the Undertaker.
You know, Don, watching this match made me realize that one day, if they keep going the way they're going, Zeus and the great Khali, they're going to make a major impact. But unfortunately, that was not going to happen tonight with Kane and the Undertaker.
I'm with you on that, Myron. Zeus and Khali have the tools and the talent to maybe even be champs at some point. But they couldn't stop these two opponents.
When we return, Macho Man Randy Savage and Mr. Perfect in the main event.